Hello, everyone is Bringonthechaos Glizzy for another What If Naruto Had a Harem and being betrayed by the one who he protects. So hope you enjoy, like, and subscribe for more. So let's start. Welcome home, Hokage-sama, said Yujito Ni in a seductive tone, pressing her body against his while purring at feeling his body against hers. Yujito-chan, how are you? Making sure things are alright while I'm away, said Naruto, looking at the woman with somewhat sound of warmth in his voice. Good, but I was bored. Kimimaro was complaining again on how he couldn't join you on your trip to Konoha to make all those people pay for their sins against you. Frankly, I don't know why you made me resurrect him in the first place, said Yujito, whining slightly when she talked about Orochimaru's former bodyguard and once potential body to steal. Because he needs to atone for his past sins in serving Orochimaru. You know that. I am giving him a chance at living again with a renewed purpose, said Naruto, sitting down on the couch of the room with Yujito right next to him, almost on his lap. But what about the other two you mentioned? Said Yujito, wondering why the two during the man's mission to Wave Country weren't resurrected as well. They deserve to rest in peace, Yujito, so let's do just that. I have no desire to take the two most influential people in my life and make them fight for me when they don't need to anymore, said Naruto, taking off his mask and putting it on the table in front of him. Once word gets out on just who you are, a lot of people are going to come after you and try to kill you, said Yujito, looking worriedly at him while resting her head comfortably on his shoulder. It doesn't matter. Soon I will crush them, as they tried to crush me, and I will make the sky rain upon their village with their own blood. I will bring judgment to all who have made people like us, and others with painful pasts like us pay for it with everything they have, said Naruto before touching the jewel hanging around his neck. I love it when you talk like that, said Yujito, snuggling up closer to him and purring further near his ear. Yujito, you know that, said Naruto, only to find a finger on his lips telling him to be quiet for her. I know. I just want to be close to you. Even though you won't let anyone in, I'd like to think I'm pretty damn close. So let me be this close to you, for as long as you'll let me, and hold me when I sleep, said Yujito, her voice getting more tired by the second before she fell asleep on him. Alright Yujito, I'll hold you, said Naruto in a quiet voice, as he too became tired and fell asleep holding onto Yujito. Konoha Hospital 2 weeks later. Are you sure you want me to do this? If I enter his mind and see what he went through, I may not survive it, said Inoichi, looking at Tsunade, who glared at the man hard with an don't give a damn look, and the Yamanaka held back a shiver that wanted to leave his spine. If we're going to get answers, you need to do this. Now stop stalling and do it, said Tsunade, yelling the second sentence, which nearly made the man fumble with his hand signs and screw up his clan's jutsu. Hokage-sama, if I may ask, what caused Naruto to? Said Shizune, only to be silenced by Tsunade, who gave her a death-given glare that she had never given to her in all the years they had been together, and it frightened the younger woman immensely. Never speak his name to me in present tense. Shizune, as far as I'm concerned, that boy is dead to me. All that he was has been corrupted or destroyed by the QB inside of him. Understand? Said Tsunade, making Shizune tremble in front of her. Teacher, why yes, Hokage-sama, said Shizune, wishing the woman had not fallen into such a state of depression and anger. After what happened, the official damage report had been devastating, and it wasn't just the physical damage either. The village had suffered. The Namikaze and Uzumaki bank accounts had been drained clean of all their money. The Namikaze compound had been drained of everything in it, from scrolls to furniture, and the forbidden scroll had been taken too from its safe with note in there, instead with the words, "not worthy," written on it. The causalities had been enormous for both civilian and shinobi, as homes had been lost, the money those people had been taken, and the multiple lives snuffed out from the attack. The Hokage monument was, according to her Anbu, trying to fix it, permanently damaged. The faces looked like they had been beaten within an inch of their lives, as the scars seemed to be laced with demonic energy, and various other marks were on them in the most horrible of designs, making it look like they were crying. Hokage-sama, I have Yui Kurenai and her former Genin team with her, and they wish to know their mission, said Iruka, having left the academy, or what was left of it, since the rooms were badly damaged, and having class wasn't an option. He was actually glad Konoha and his teammates with Ebisu as their sensei were off on a C-ranked mission to escort a man to one of Fire Country's major ports. Send them in, said Tsunade, not taking her eyes off the form of Hatake Kakashi, who despite being invaded mentally by Inoichi was still screaming out in muffled pain, and the painkillers seemed to have no effect on lessening it. You called for us, Hokage-sama? Said Kurenai, knowing that whatever it was, it had to be important, and it concerned the one person that no one dared speak of. Jiraiya told me he thinks he's found Nar the Kyuubi, but needs some backup. At the very moment, you are all I can really spare since the village needs to recover, and I need someone to back up my old perverted teammate, said Tsunade, looking at the group of four, seeing their eyes widen, and understood what she was getting at. You need us to distract the demon so Jiraiya can finish him now that he possess a mortal body, said Shino, knowing that he was skating along the issue with his old teammate, but knew he was safe since he didn't mention the fallen shinobi's name, and hoped the others would do the same. Yes. This is an S's ranked mission, and while we don't have the money to pay for it, I'll do what I can to pay you later down the road, and get you more support when it becomes available. I sent a request to Suna for help, but Gaara turned it down, saying he owed his life to him because of Akatsuki, and refuses to betray him whether he's a demon or not, said Tsunade, knowing the other reason was because the demon had spared Suna any kind of destruction so far. Whether the people in Wind Country would admit it or not, they had already submitted to the Yukage's will. Naruto-kun, are you still you? Or has your spirit been destroyed by the demon you held? Thought Hinata, hoping that the boy she admired for so long and cared for was still in that state he was in. We will leave immediately, Hokage-sama, said Kurenai, as her team would need just about every single piece of shinobi gear they could get their hands on, and head out to help Jiraiya, if they could help, that is. Inside Kakashi's mind, Inoichi wished he could leave Hatake's mind right now so he could puke his guts out before killing the man for what he had done to Naruto. Kakashi's Chidori to Naruto from behind at the Valley of the End was the straw that broke the camel's back. No wonder the demon possessed the boy and took his revenge on the man before attacking village that had abused its vessel. Kakashi had on more than one occasion sold out Naruto to a mob during his birthday, and had nearly hit him with the Chidori once had the Sandaime not shown up. The former Anbu captain had ignored his post on numerous occasions, with the two councils getting the man off from any charges the Hokage wished to press against him. I don't know whether to be glad or frightened by what I'm about to see, thought Inoichi, as he entered the man's memory of being tortured mercilessly by a demon, and it was quite a sight. You have no right to call yourself the slayer of Kyuubi or a student of my father. You are nothing but an insect that needs to know its place in the world, and I am just the person to do it, said Naruto to a tied-up Kakashi hanging in the air, who couldn't move his head due to a neck brace, and his arms wrapped in heavy chains with each of his fingers broken to prevent jutsus from being used. You are not Minato-sensei's son. I'm his only son. Me. If that Uzumaki slut hadn't seduced him and made him help her sire you, I would be the only child they would ever need, said Kakashi, earning him a clawed backhand to his face, tearing the mask and flesh from the Junin. I'm sure my father would love to hear you say that to his face right now. Did you tell him how you felt? Did you call her a slut to his face? No, because you were a spoiled little child just like Sasuke is. Always have to have everything and destroy everyone in your path that prevents you from having it. We'll make no mistake, Kakashi. I will see to it that you get what's coming to you, and that when it's over you can rightfully call the pain I'm about to inflict on you your own, said Naruto as he drew a sword and began to systematically destroy Kakashi's being. Inoichi was in shock, as the demon claiming to be Naruto was simply destroying Kakashi without asking him question, as if he already knew the answers, and savagely butchered the Junin's body. The man screamed for hours on end, with the seals hidden on the walls that suppressed noise from exiting the room, staying active throughout the ordeal. Well, it's not like Kakashi had it coming. thought Inoichi, seeing the demon finally stop after taking out both of Kakashi's eyes, having already removed the jaw with two tongue. Inoichi, I know the old hag sent you in here to enter Hatake team's mind, so deliver this message to her from me. Tell her what I have done here and what Konoha went through is nothing compared to what I have in store for the elemental countries. Tell her, I know she is going to send Iro Sennin after me, and that I have my own grudges against him to deal with. Tell her, the next time she sees her old teammate, will be in a box with only his rotting flesh-covered skull, said Naruto before he looked over at Inoichi's general area, allowing the man to see the blood-red eyes staring him. Feeling nervous and quite scared, Inoichi ended the jutsu, and re-entered into the safety of his own body, while Tsunade, seeing him jolt upright, waited for his report. How bad is it? Said Tsunade, seeing the man sweating heavily, and looked at her with fear-struck eyes. Worse than you know. He knows you would send Jiraiya-sama after him, and intends to destroy the Toad Sannin for his past sins, said Inoichi, finding his mind was now being tormented by the glowing red he saw in Hatake's mind. What questions did the demon ask Kakashi? Said Tsunade, wondering what the beast would want with Hatake at all aside from hurting him. There were no questions, Hokage-sama. Naruto ripped him apart just for the hell of it, said Inoichi, not realizing he spoke Naruto's name in front of Tsunade, only to find her hand on his throat, and slamming his form into a nearby wall. Never call that demon by Naruto's name in my presence again. Do you understand me? Yelled Tsunade, her fury clear in her eyes, and Inoichi thought she was going to kill him. Why don't you understand, Hokage-sama? It was a Naruto. I'm telling you the truth. I swear it, said Inoichi, trying to breathe, but was finding his efforts futile. You lie, said Tsunade, her eyes were flashing dangerously at him. I wish I was. He's gearing up to slaughter everyone around him. He doesn't care about you, Konoha, or any other place in the elemental countries. He just wants to see things die at his feet, said Inoichi, hoping the woman would relent from crushing his windpipe. He actually began to fear for her life when she squeezed his throat tighter for a good 5 seconds, but soon she relaxed and let go of him before falling into a nearby chair. Did Kakashi really deserve his injuries? Said Tsunade, looking at Inoichi rubbing his throat to ease the pain. If you saw what I did, Hokage-sama, you would stop giving him painkillers and simply kill him yourself, said Inoichi, getting off the ground, though he wobbled a bit before he was able to steady himself. If you saw what I did, Hokage-sama, you would stop giving him painkillers and simply kill him yourself, said Inoichi, getting off the ground, though he wobbled a bit before he was able to steady himself. I'll take your word for it, said Tsunade, her voice sounding almost broken by the time she finished her sentence. The two councils, plus the clan heads, will want to have a meeting concerning this matter, Hokage-sama, though not many of them are still alive after what happened a few weeks ago, said Inoichi, as such a meeting had yet to take place, and with all that had happened with rumors flying around of Naruto's rebirth as a demon, it was difficult to get any level-headed members speaking. In such a meeting, those arrogant fools are the reason why the Yandame's dying wish wasn't honored in the first place, said Tsunade, though she had to bite her tongue after that, since she had been such a fool herself for not coming back to Konoha to save Kushina when she needed her, and all for a simple bit of money. You wretched old drunken whore, screamed the echoing voice within her mind of Naruto's demonic-filled words that pierced right into her soul. Hokage-sama? Hokage-sama? Are you all right? You just spaced out for a second, said Inoichi, seeing the woman look like she was replaying a memory in her head. Hokage-sama? Hokage-sama? Are you all right? You just spaced out for a second, said Inoichi, seeing the woman look like she was replaying a memory in her head. Yes, I'm fine. Go tell the councils and clan heads we'll be meeting later today. It's long overdue as it is, said Tsunade, hoping things didn't get out of hand. Those that hated Naruto did not feel they needed to be humbled by anyone unless it was the Fire Daimyo, and even then, they just sucked up to him when he came to visit, somewhere near Grass Country. He's almost here, said Yujito to Naruto, who nodded, having sensed Jiraiya coming at him, having summoned Gamakichi after so many years, and told him to tell the super pervert where to find him. Thanks for watching. Type for more.